My Lords, I thank all those who have most kindly contributed to this debate and for their constructive comments. Mindful that time is pressing, I hope noble Lords who have contributed will excuse me if I am brief in my closing remarks. I'd like to thank the noble Lord Alton, in drawing attention to the need for the media to pay more attention and treat ethical issues with a higher priority. I do also agree that the legislation under discussion is a throwback to times happily long past, and that we have moved on as a society. It is time that the law and Parliament should catch up with that and challenge negative stereotypes. I thank my noble friend Baroness Nicholson for agreeing with me that the attitude of society has changed and that everyone is equal. I agree with her that it does seem rather jarring, if not hypocritical, to celebrate as a society the amazing achievements of our Paralympians and then, as I alluded to in my opening remarks, tell them in effect by law, we would have killed you if we had the chance, and we believe that you would be better off dead. I'm afraid, my Lords, that though none of us may articulate such thoughts, the subtext of the existing law signals exactly that message. I thank the Right Reverend Prelate for his supportive remarks and would emphasise with him that this is not about the ethics of abortion. And indeed, it is perfectly true that it would be unlikely that the number of abortions would markedly decrease. But the principle, as he rightly said, of disability equality is essential if society wants to celebrate people with disabilities as they have done so recently in Trafalgar Square. My Lords, moving quickly on to the remarks of my noble friend Baroness Stroud, I think she made a very pertinent point when she said that most people, most members of your Lordship's House, are really surprised to discover that not only is disability grounds for abortion, but it's grounds for abortion up to birth. And while I hear the points made by the noble Baroness, Baroness Hayter, the noble Baroness, Baroness Tom, with respect, I feel it is very important that we take on board the points made by my noble friend about the pressure exerted on women by clinicians, by nursing staff, and indeed by legislation, by the societal norms constructed by the legislation passed by your Lordship's House. It is the crucial importance of attitudes. With regard to the noble Baroness, Baroness Tom's remarks, I would simply say this. Either we believe in equality or we don't. George Orwell very helpfully pointed out that no one can be more equal than others. And I would say that that is exactly the point about the need for consistency in equality. So I simply thank the noble Baroness for the overpowering clarity of her views. I turn now to the remarks of my noble friend, the Viscount Bridgman. And I can't help but agree with his very appropriate description of the way that the interpretation of law passed by your Lordship's House has resulted inadvertently in abortion on grounds of disability by stealth, and that this was not what was intended by your Lordship's House. I thank Lord Elton, my noble friend Lord Elton, for his supportive remarks, and I agree with the noble Baroness Hayter when she opened her remarks, drawing attention to the contribution of disabled people. I would like to believe, I certainly attempt to make a contribution to the business of your Lordship's House. But perhaps I could leave her with this point. If the law is not changed, how many members of your Lordship's House, and I wonder, is this even more pertinent in light of the debate that immediately preceded the second reading, how many members of your Lordship's House do noble lords think will be in this place in 40 years if they might have had an anomaly, a disability detected before birth? I think, my lords, we all know the answer to that question. In conclusion, she mentioned the hurdles that disabled people face. I would simply say to her that the biggest hurdle to society truly being for everyone is attitudes. My noble friend, the Minister, restated the government's position, which I respectfully hope will change. But I have to say, I serve notice on Her Majesty's government that should they proceed to introduce the new non-invasive pregnancy test without the Health Secretary having met with me, with people with Down syndrome, their families and representatives, to discuss their grave concerns, a meeting I requested as long ago as the 8th of March, then I would be very seriously concerned, and I would simply urge, with greatest respect, my government and my party not to disown its own Disability Discrimination Act and its commitment to ensuring disabled people must be heard on all crucial issues affecting them, which is consistent with the spirit of that Act. My Lords, I conclude by thanking all those who have contributed to this important debate and by asking the House to give the bill a second reading.
The question is that this bill be now read a second time. As many as are of that opinion will say content. Contrary not content, the contents have it.
My Lords, I beg to move that this bill be committed to a committee of the whole House.
The question is that this bill be committed to a committee of the whole House. As many as are of that opinion will say content. Contrary not content, the contents have it.